From Boston Gardens, the Bruins beat the Flyers. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Busch Beer. Remember, when the action gets hot, cool off in the cold, refreshing mountains of Busch Beer. And by your New England Dodge dealers, the home of one-stop car shopping and one-stop car convenience. This year, Dodge is all of the above. Hi, everybody. Fred Cusick along with Johnny Peirson and Tom Larson with highlights and features. And John, the Philadelphia Flyers, new coach, some changers. They're having kind of a rough time for Philadelphia.
Well, they're not off to a very good start, Fred, but they're on a rebuilding program under the new coach. And one of their big problems has been their inability to score goals. They've only scored 27 goals in 11 games, which is not too good when you consider steady winning in the National Hockey League. But they've added 3 top draft picks in the first round. One of them, Ben Wilson, wearing number 3 for the Philadelphia Flyers, has been very impressive to a lot of people in the National Hockey League at this young stage. 6'3", he's 215 pounds, a big, strong youngster, very intelligent player, and they say he plays his position extremely well, has added some offense as well. Comes Wensink, and I think he fell over Daly, or the goaltender, I guess it was, right there, and he looks like he fell on that left knee.
Face off, and it goes to Wilson. Around the boards to Holmgren. Ben Wilson, a 19-year-older on defense. Middleton keeps it in, and Boston's forechecking. Now Jimmy Watson, brother Joe, has gone to Colorado. Changes in the Philadelphia Flyers. A lead pass up the left side. Bridgman hustles with O'Brien. And Bridgman gets it. And Wilson keeps it in behind the net to Bridgman to McLeish. The shot blocked by O'Brien. Bridgman again. Around the boards to Holmgren. Holmgren centers it. It's knocked away. Bridgman keeps it in. A penalty coming up on Boston. And the Bruins will be shorthanded. Bob Miller is going out. From Boston Garden, you're watching Bruins hockey.
A 2-minute penalty for cross-checking on Al Sims at 1:43 of the first period. He and Bob Miller were right there as Bridgman tried to do some forechecking.
Puck is cleared. Ben Wilson, the 19-year-old, or #1 draft pick, one of them for Philadelphia, gets it off to Bridgman, and it's played in. O'Brien on it, trying to come out. Check. It rolls to Rick Smith. Taps it up and outside the line. O'Brien getting it, though. The Bruins trying to work it out. Delayed call. And they clear it away. Barber playing the left point. Wilson the other point, and Boston shorthanded. McLeish back to Wilson. Wilson over the line. Goes for the shot wide. And the rebound. Middleton clears it out as he's knocked down, and a penalty on Philadelphia. Delayed call, and the Flyers will be shorthanded. And going out is Holmgren. We're in the first period with the score Boston nothing and Philadelphia nothing.
Oh, with 44 seconds gone in Al Sims' penalty, Paul Holmgren gets a hooking call right here as he hooks down Middleton, who was making a great effort to get the puck out into center ice as the Bruins were making an effort to kill the penalty to Sims, and now so both teams will have a man in the penalty box.
Face off to Philadelphia, no score in the game, and breaking out Bridgman. He's still on with McLeish, and he scores! A long shot broke off the stick of Gilbert and into the net. A long drive by Mel Bridgman, a soft one, and Gilbert's stick was not positioned correctly. It broke off it and in the net for a 1-0 Philadelphia lead.
Now this long centering pass into the Boston end by Bridgman, I think, hit the heel of Gilbert's stick. You watch it now. I think it caroms off the heel right there and just goes in. It was going to miss the net, and Gilbert directed it in front.
Bridgman right back to drive it in wide. Daly a shot. Gilbert the save. And the puck now to Rattel. A long shot by Bridgman and a quick 1-0 lead as Gilbert fanned on it. Out comes Milbury, clearing it in wide of Stevenson. Milbury keeps it in. Back to Doak. Doak fires. Rolls in front. Bounces to Milbury. The shot hit the side of the net as Milbury went on the attack. And out comes McLeish. McLeish is hit. Checked. keeps the puck. Lost it again. Finally, it's batted around, and Milbury takes it. But a 1-0 lead. The goal, Bridgman from Daly. The long shot missed by Gilbert. The kind that hurt. Puck cleared in, and this is icing on Boston. In 19 seconds, they will have the man advantage, as each team short a man right now. But Philadelphia with a 1-0 lead on the goal by Mel Bridgman. Bridgman from Daly at 2:36. And for Bridgman, his second goal of the year. A real gift from Gilbert. He just had that stick at the wrong angle, considering the way the shot came in.
Well, the shot was going to miss the net to the right of Gilbert, and what he was trying to do was stop it so that his own player, while coming back, could pick up the puck when it was stationary. And it looked like it hit the heel of his stick and just caromed into the corner.
Rick Smith, O'Reilly started out. Barber and Clark on for Philadelphia. McNabb, O'Reilly, Smith, and O'Brien. Barber checking. Now O'Brien. Long one up for McNabb. Gets it over the line. Good play by McNabb. Fires in. Power play Boston now. O'Brien trying to keep it in. Kicks it free, but it bounces to Jimmy Watson, and Watson carries. Takes a hit from O'Reilly, but moves it in deep and fires one that misses. On the right side, Wilson broken up by Cashman, but it goes to Clark. Now O'Reilly center ice. Over the line. Off from McNabb. McNabb broken up by Clark, and Clark clears. 19 seconds left on the penalty to Holmgren, and 15:48 left in the first period. A 1-0 lead for Philadelphia. Out comes O'Brien. A shot caught in the pads of DuPont, and a whistle for a faceoff just inside the Philadelphia line. 6 seconds left on that Paul Holmgren penalty as we look at Andre DuPont, the veteran defenseman for Philadelphia. Don Cherry with his team behind now, 1-0. McNabb, a hot hand in scoring, centering O'Reilly and Cashman with Smith and Doak. Doak, he's had a couple of shots on. That one went wide from center ice. Cashman breaks up Daly. Full strength. Philadelphia. Bridgman in the corner, battling. And it's out to Doak from Cashman. He has to maneuver to keep it in, and his shot is deflected and goes into the stands at a face-off call to the left of Stevenson. The referee, John McCauley, the linesman, John D'Amico and Claude Bayshard, and Bridgman scoring a goal on a long shot. A 1-0 Flyer lead. Bridgman is centering Holmgren and McLeish. The draw to Rick Smith. Screen shot. It's wide. DuPont bangs it around, and Philadelphia works it out. Holmgren breaking with Bridgman. Puck cleared in. Gilbert out. Stops it. Trying to clear it. Stopped by Bridgman. And Gilbert knocked down by Holmgren. He gets up. The puck now to McLeish. And O'Reilly jams Holmgren and is down. Now gets up. Gets atop Holmgren, and a wild scene. Terry O'Reilly and Paul Holmgren really going at it. Gilbert was knocked down in the battle behind the net.
I think Gilbert is going to get a 2-minute penalty for slashing Holmgren. He took a stick to him, and we'll see what further penalties are coming up. But I think the Bruins will at least get the Gilbert call.
Now Holmgren and O'Reilly, a real battle. O'Reilly went down. Holmgren pounded him, and quickly O'Reilly turned it around, and then the linesman moved in, and they're still having a problem separating two tough competitors. Paul Holmgren, a St. Paul, Minnesota native, and Terry O'Reilly. And McCauley saying something to O'Reilly as they're separated. You're watching Boston Bruins hockey from Boston Garden.
Well, the action hot and heavy in the early going here at the Boston Garden, the Bruins and the Flyers, and that's not unusual. Here's the play developing. O'Reilly moves into Holmgren in the corner, and that was after, I believe, Gilbert got caught it behind the net. Holmgren bumped into him, knocked him down, and as he managed to come back into in front of his net into the goal crease, he took the stick and swung it at Holmgren. Gilbert. Gilbert is drawing a 2-minute minor penalty. I don't know if it's roughing or slashing or what it is, but he took the stick to Holmgren as he started to move back into the front of his net, and then the ensuing action, O'Reilly and Holmgren went at it and drew 5-minute penalties for fighting.
So Cashman in the penalty box with O'Reilly, serving the 2-minute penalty to Gilbert. A power play for Philadelphia. They lead 1-0, 14:57 left in the first period. Clark, McLeish, Leach with Daly and Barber. Bob McCammon, the new coach of Philadelphia, coached the Maine Mariners last year, and Daly gets it on the draw. Over to Barber, left point. Outside the line on the pass. Marcotte, Middleton for Boston, Smith and Doak. Boston short. Power play Philadelphia. And Barber trying to move it out to Clark. Over to Leach. Leach checked by Rick Smith. Works it free, loses to Middleton. Middleton stick handling and clearing it. 1:30 left on the penalty, being served by Cashman. Gilbert got the 2 minutes. A lead pass for Clark. Clark over the line, checked. Puck kept in, broken up. Marcotte fouls and clears it. 9 power play goals for Philadelphia. Percentage of about 21%. The Bridgman goal was not a power play goal. Both teams were short a man when that was scored. Clark over the line, left wing. Now to McLeish. McLeish moves it in, fires across and misses. Tried a shot on net. Barber, a drive, a save Gilbert, as that was on net from the left point. Now it deflects in front. Middleton can't clear. Rick Smith able to just poke it outside the line. Marcotte scraps for it and clears it down. 32 seconds left on the penalty. O'Brien, Schmatz coming out. Smith still out there. Marcotte. They're forechecking, and back now comes Philadelphia. A lead pass for Dean. Dean with Collender. Checked, but keeps it in the corner. Checked by Rick Smith all the way. Broken up by Schmatz. Kept in Bridgman. Bridgman with Collender. A pass now to the point man, Wilson. Fed in, blocked. Wilson back right point, has it again. Now to Collender. Shot. Deflected wide. Full strength Boston, but the puck kept in. LaPointe. Shot. And deflected wide as Cashman back to dig it out, and Marcotte clears. Full strength the Bruins. LaPointe holding it. Boston killed off the penalty. LaPointe fires in. Gilbert trying to clear it. Bridgman over there to block it. Up the boards to Collender with Dean in front. Dean checked by O'Brien. Schmatz taps it out of the zone. Bruins trying to organize now after killing off the penalty. Wilson holds it. Interception. Schmatz clearing in wide of Stevenson. 12:20 left first period. 1-0 Philadelphia. Wilson knocked down on the play. Puck cleared out center ice. With it, Secord. Now Sims for Jonathan. Broken out. O'Brien over the line. O'Brien trying to move in. Held off. Jonathan keeps it in. Jonathan checked. Battles. Secord there. And Philadelphia gets it. Bridgman working it out. Play broken up. Secord right back with Miller and Jonathan. A shot wide. Rebound. Jonathan trying to make a play in front. Knock, block. Keeps it. Now to Miller. Miller in front. Tried the short side, and Stevenson made the stop. Miller trying to center it. Can't. And a penalty coming up on Wilson. With the score, Philadelphia 1 and Boston 0. Let's pause for this message.
A busy first period for the referee, John McCauley. Number 3, Ben Wilson, the rookie, gets a high sticking and call right here on Secord in front of the net. And at 8:23, the Bruins will have the man advantage.
McNabb with Cashman and Middleton, Foster and Schmatz. Back to Foster. Over to Schmatz. Back for Foster. Schmatz. Shot. Blocked. Bounces. Cashman with it. And Foster had backed off the line, tried to keep it in and couldn't. Face-off outside the Philadelphia line. Barber and Clark. DuPont and Daly for Philadelphia. Roy Schneider. On the face-off now. Daly clears. Boston with 5 forwards on the power play, trailing 1-0. Schmatz trying to come out. Foster starts it away. In the center ice. Cashman touched it. He should have let Schmatz handle it. Schmatz was onside, Cashman offside, and so the face-off called. But there's the puck, and you can't look at it too long, and so natural instinct is to touch it.
Cashman had to have reached back for it a little sooner. He would have been onside, but the fact that he went across the center ice red line without touching it made the play offside. If that puck precedes you across the red line at center, then you can pick it up anywhere. But if you go first and the puck comes later, if it's inside your own blue line, then it's offside.
Dwight Foster. Checked by Barber. Barber lost it to Middleton. Now Foster trying to come out. McNabb with it. Over the line, gets by, moves in, and the shot is blocked by Daly. Pops into the corner where Cashman back for Foster. Foster a shot just wide. Cashman couldn't tip it home, tried to. Schmatz into Cashman. Cashman back for Schmatz. Over to Foster. In for McNabb. McNabb a shot, save, puck freeze, missed by Cashman on the backhand. Behind the net, Middleton. Middleton around the boards. Cashman back to Schmatz. Schmatz fires, deflected high. Rebound, DuPont trying to clear. Foster kept it in, knocked away by Barber. Barber broken up by Schmatz. Schmatz over the line. Off now for Middleton. Middleton a shot, save, Stevenson around the board. Foster couldn't keep it in. Play broken up by Bridgman. Bridgman may break in. Missed on the backhand as Gilbert went down on that break-in by Mel Bridgman as Foster was caught. And Foster shaken up down near the Boston net. And timeout for the Boston rookie Foster, who was playing the point on the power play. And Boston had pretty good action going there in the Philadelphia end.
Well, a pretty good move by young Mel Bridgman, wearing number 10 for the Flyers. Look at him use that right leg to block Foster out of the play. If he'd held that puck just a little bit longer, he might have been able to tuck it in behind Gilbert, but it seemed to slip off his stick and go wide, as you saw. Foster crashed into that far goalpost in the action. He seems to be all right over at the Boston bench.
Rattel, Marcotte, Wensink, still a power play. Out comes Milbury for Marcotte, right wing over the line. Off in front. It's broken up, and McLeish breaks. O'Brien trying to get back on him. Marcotte hustles back. McLeish shot. Save Gilbert. Good bid. Puck off for Marcotte. Full strength Philadelphia. They lead 1-0. Rattel trying to break it out. Now Milbury. His pass up, stopped by Lapointe. Lapointe gets by O'Brien. Drive. Save Gilbert. And Milbury knocked Lapointe down. Drive here, saves Gilbert on a hard drive from the right point. Lapointe keeps it in. Milbury a hard check a moment ago. A pass goes over in front with it. Wensink can't move it out. McLeish with it. A pass blocked. Penalty coming up on Boston. Delayed call. It's on Milbury. Puck kept in by Holmgren. Bruins running around at this juncture. And now they get possession. And Milbury is going out. From the Boston Garden, the score, Philadelphia 1 and Boston 0.
Mike Milbury off for boarding at 11:07. He took Rick Lapointe up against the boards after Rick made a fine shift on Dennis O'Brien at the Boston blue line. But Milbury very, very quick and alert to cut across in behind, pick him up, and he crashed him into the boards in the corner. And he's off at 11:07. So the Flyers, having just finished with a penalty killing situation, now will go on the offense with the power play.
And the Flyers lead 1-0 on a goal by Bridgman as we look at Bob McCammon, who Coach of the Year, American Hockey League, Maine Mariners last year. And rookie in the National Hockey League at age 37. Has Clark, Leach, along with Dean. The Bruins get the draw, and O'Brien clears. Barry Dean is at left wing. Wilson, the rookie, is the right point man, and Barber the left point. 4 forwards. As Wilson starts it away, Marcotte checks him very smartly. Now Barber with it. Driving in, but Leach was offside. Let's pause now. 5 seconds for station identification. This is the TV-38 Bruins Network.
This is TV-38, WSBK TV, Boston.
Fred Cusick, Johnny Peirson, Tom Larson with his highlights and features. The Bruins and the Flyers, and the Flyers lead 1-0, 8:31 left first period, and the Flyers with a power play. Milbury out for board checking. At center ice, Marcotte breaks it up, lead pass, Middleton over the line, just ruled offside. The Bruins have some shorthanded goals this year, and they're alert for it with Middleton right there. The threat, he can move with some open ice.
Well, Marcotte and Middleton have proven to be extremely strong penalty killers, but the Flyers, though they have had a lot of penalties, they've had 63 times shorthanded, lead the National Hockey League in shorthanded goals with 4. Boston has 2. Both of them have been scored by Don Marcotte.
Marcotte, Middleton, Sims, and O'Brien. Wilson, Leach winding up. Now to Bill Barber. Works it into Clark. To Wilson. Back in deep to Leach in the corner. Wheeling. Shooting. Blocked. But it deflects to Barber. Heavy action in front. Wilson now to Clark. In for Leach. Dean trying to screen in front. And he is. And the shot. Save. And the puck cleared by O'Brien. A big play. And Middleton trying to drive it out. Does. Dean jamming in front, but Gilbert made the block. 47 seconds left on the power play as Barber rushes for Dean. In the Clark. Clark keeps it all the way around, back in front, drops it for Wilson. The shot deflected wide. Bruins trying to clear. Jonathan, a penalty killer. Wilson in front, over to Clark. Clark. Wilson, shot, scores! Screen shot might have been deflected home as Ben Wilson drove it. Holmgren was screening in front. Power play goal, Holmgren for a 2-0 Philadelphia lead.
Well, the drive as the Flyers pass the puck very nicely here. This is Wilson with a drive, but I believe Holmgren will get credit for the goal. Watch it hit him on the leg somewhere right there. Change direction. I think the shot probably was going to miss that far corner. But Holmgren standing in front to try to block out Gilbert's view. The puck caromed off his leg. And at 12:48, it's 2-0 Flyers.
So with 7:12 left in the first period, it's a 2-0 lead for Philadelphia. And now they're using Hoyda, Evans, and Kelly. They have not played to this point. Hoyda with it over the line. A shot right on. Save. Gilbert trying to clear it off. And out comes Miller now with Secord. Miller clears it in. He's hit by Kelly and knocked down. Kelly check around the boards. Rick Smith can't keep it in. The Flyers fire it out. They've got a heavy checking line out there now. Here's Secord. Up for Rick Smith to O'Reilly. O'Reilly with Miller. Takes a hit from DuPont and loses the puck. And Jimmy Watson clears it away. Doak over to Rick Smith now. Up to O'Reilly again on the move. In for Secord. O'Reilly goes in to get it himself to Secord. Secord hit by Evans. And Kelly works it out to Hoyda. Hoyda checked by Doak. And back for Rick Smith. Around the boards, Kelly losing, but it goes to Hoyda. Hoyda right in. Score by Evans, his first. Evans gets the goal from Hoyda and a 3-0 Philadelphia lead as Evans was all alone in front, set up by Hoyda.
Well, good forechecking by the Philadelphia Flyers as they have applied some pressure on the Bruins. And you see Evans pick up that centering pass by Hoyda. He blocked out the Bruins defenseman with his body and just touched it home in behind Gilbert. and it's 3-0 Philadelphia. The goal comes at 13:55 of the first period. Evans and Hoyda will get an assist.
Well, Bob McCammon set out the checking line, and it paid off in a goal. Evans getting it from Hoyda. Now Murray on defense. Clears it around the boards, and the Flyers work it out again. They've got a 3-0 lead on the Bruins. Into the corner, Holmgren. Centering pass. Backhander McLeish over the net. He had a great setup. And now Gilbert ties it up near the net as the Flyers continue their pressure. And here's Wensick and Holmgren. Quickly moving in, D'Amico. Wensick and Holmgren have squared off. And they're both going out. And McCauley saying something.
Well, a hard hit here in the corner. Al Sims moved in, got a good check along with Wensick on Holmgren. And Gilbert had to make an acrobatic save with that stick, but the action continued as Wensick and Holmgren paired off.
Bruins hockey is coming to you live from Boston Garden.
A roughing call against Paul Holmgren of the Philadelphia Flyers at 14:17 of the first period, as the Flyers lead 3-0 on goals by Bridgman, Holmgren, and Evans. The last one, Evans' first goal of the season. Hoyda, the assist, came at 13:55 of the first period. Boston will now have the power play.
McNabb, Wensick, O'Reilly. McNabb clears it in. O'Reilly over the line. Right in front, but it goes wide. Clark, a good backhand flip, gets it out of the zone. Milbury, the left point. Schmatz, the right point. Milbury carries up over the line with O'Reilly. To O'Reilly. O'Reilly checked. Knocked down. McNabb gets it to Schmatz. Schmatz moving in. Fires. Save. Rebound. Wensick can't get it. Centered by O'Reilly over to Milbury. Another drive. Wide. O'Reilly with it in the corner. Back to Milbury. Fed back in. Wensick after it is broken up by Wilson. Now Jimmy Watson trying to clear. Check. Kept in by Schmatz and O'Reilly. Schmatz in front. Wensick can't get the play. Milbury keeps it in. Wilson trying to clear. Around the boards he does. A minute left on the penalty. Power play for Boston. And they need a goal badly. Trailing 3-0 first period. Schmatz starts it back. Up the left side he carries. He's broken up. Marcotte lost it. McLeish in a race with Rattel, gets the shot away and scores on the rebound. And McLeish gets a shorthanded goal to make it 4-0 for Philadelphia.
Well, the Flyers, who up to now have had a problem scoring goals, do not find it so here tonight at the Boston Garden. Especially here in the first period. They have countered their fourth goal, and here's McLeish with a great effort. Watch him pick up his own rebound. Rattel tried to block him out of the play, couldn't do it, and then he just slid that little short shot underneath. Outstretched Gilbert, making an effort to grab it, couldn't do it. And an unassisted goal by McLeish, also shorthanded, puts the Flyers out in front 4-0.
And now 40 seconds left on the penalty. The Bruins even more desperate for a goal. Middleton fires, save. Stevenson, a beauty. And the puck is cleared by Philadelphia's Bridgman. The Flyers leading 4-0. 4:07 left first period. Rattel starts it back with Schmatz. Fed in wide of Stevenson. Daly and Milbury after it. Bumped around the corner. Middleton and Rattel to Middleton. Trying to center it. He's hit. In the corner goes Milbury. Milbury back to Marcotte left point. Holding. Schmatz right point. Fires. Blocked. On it again. It's cleared by McLeish, who just scored a shorthanded goal, and the penalty is up. And Clark with it at center ice. And with it, Barber now. And Schmatz trying to get the play going. Barber and Clark keep it in. Hard hit Schmatz on Barber. Hard hit by Miller. But the Flyers get it free. Clark with it. Wheels in front, and he's blocked. Clark knocked down. Penalty on Rick Smith. Rick Smith going out for holding. And the Bruins will be shorthanded again as they are down 4-0. Rick Smith tied up Clark, and it is Rick Smith going out for holding with 3:07 left.
Well, a tough forechecker, Bobby Clark, as Rick Smith wraps his arms around him, trying to contain him behind the net. And the referee, John McCauley, assesses Rick Smith a 2-minute holding and call at 16:53 of the first period, as the Flyers will have another power play opportunity. They have scored a power play goal, that by Holmgren at 12:48, and they've also scored a shorthanded goal, that by Rick McLeish, unassisted.
Face-off now in the Boston zone, and Boston shorthanded. Philadelphia with a power play and a shorthanded goal in the 4 that they have scored. Puck is back to LaPointe. Fed in. Sims checked by Barber. Round of Leach. Now to Barber. This is all behind the net, though. Nobody in front. Now Leach works in front and scores. Reg Leach fires from a tough angle and gets a power play goal to make it 5-0. The second power play goal of the night for Philadelphia.
Well, it's just a night for the Philadelphia Flyers, and they're shooting peas at Gilbert. This one slipped right between his pads as Reggie Leach pulled the trigger from that right wing side on a pass from behind the net by Bobby Clark. And at 17 minutes and 9 seconds into the first period, it's 5-0 Flyers.
A period that Boston wants to forget, and it's not over yet with 2:45 left. Secord knocked down Wilson. But the Flyers work it in. They've got their checking line out there now. Callender, Evans, who scored a goal. His pass broken up, and out comes Cashman with Secord and Foster. 3-on-2, they've got it. The shot in on Stevenson. Drops it off, clears it in the corner. Foster, Cashman trying to get it, can't. Back to O'Brien, he can't keep it inside the line. And Sims now to Foster, but he lost it. And Callender is onside, keeps it in. Foster trying to work it out as the Flyers have dominated. Sims trying to come out. Spilled. Secord ties it up. A face-off call. 1:59 left here. In our first intermission tonight, we'll have sports test and mini one-on-one bantam competition with Needham meeting Springfield. Then Johnny Peirson and I will have an analysis of the first period of tonight's game, and that's all coming up between periods, so stay with us. Philadelphia leads 5-0. 2 power play goals, a shorthanded goal, and domination here. Wensink out to McNabb with O'Reilly, a break. McNabb over the line. The shot hit the post. Broke through the glove of Stevenson and hit the post. Wensink trying to keep it in. Can't. He ready to battle Wilson. Here they go. Ben Wilson, the rookie, and John Wensink. A good battle. Oh, some heavy hits by Wensink. Wilson trying to get back. John Wensink and Ben Wilson. Heavy, heavy hitting there.
Wensink crashed Wilson into the boards about midway between the net and the blue line, right on the Philadelphia side of the bench. And he just went right back and moved over to Wensink, and I must imagine he just said, you want to go? You might as well do it now. They both dropped their gloves, and away they went. But the Flyers on the scoreboard out in front 5-0 on goals by Bridgman, Holmgren, Evans, McLeish, and Leach in that order. The last two, McLeish unassisted, 15:34 was a shorthanded goal. Then the Flyers came back on the power play. Leach, his third of the season from Clark and Barber at 17:04. Their 11th power play goal of the season, and now we'll have the penalties coming up.
5 minutes each for fighting, 1:32 left, and there is Ben Wilson. You spell it B-E-H-N. 19 years old. Here's McNabb with a scoring bid.
Great shot here by Peter McNabb, who had O'Reilly. He could have dropped it back to, but he elected to shoot, and he really got good leverage on this one. It winged by Stevenson, and watched the crossbar in the post. Hit the crossbar first, down to the post. That's how close it came to going in. On the underside of the crossbar, went down, hit the post, came back out, but that's been the Bruins' luck here so far in this hockey game.
Teams at full strength. O'Reilly and McNabb trying to make a play. Get it back to Doak. Doak clears it in. Driven up to Bridgman by Philadelphia, and Holmgren starts it back and clears in the Boston end. 1:19 left. Bridgman keeps it in. And O'Reilly in the corner. O'Reilly lost it. Bridgman works it in front. A clean shot blocked, and another fight going on. Terry O'Reilly is battling Holmgren again. And they both go down. Holmgren and O'Reilly. O'Reilly on top. They had the earlier fight, of course. And this is Philadelphia-Boston of the old days. The Bruins, of course, totally frustrated, but regardless of the fights, the Flyers have a 5-goal lead.
Well, the problem here, Fred, is this is not hockey. It's something other than that. And although the Bruins are down 5-0, and they've had some bad breaks here in the first period, they want to get back into this hockey game. It's putting the puck behind Stevenson, really, that counts. And we're going to have further penalties here. How this will be assessed by the referee, I'm not sure. Holmgren and O'Reilly have been at it all period long. They had a 5-minute fighting infraction at 5:03. Holmgren got a roughing penalty at 14:17 when he and Winsink looked like they were going to go at it. So he has been very much involved in
Tough
what has
job
been
here
going
for
on.
Bayshard and D'Amico. D'Amico finally able to pull off O'Reilly, but other players are in there now. Secord and McNabb, Doak. This looks like one of those tug of wars. Somebody's got Holmgren, or Holmgren's got somebody.
There's a Bruin down on the ice. I'm not sure.
It's not Holmgren.
It's Al Secord standing up.
Milbury and Bridgman. Bridgman has him in a leg hold. Finally, they're broken up. And Bridgman pushes Milbury. Milbury and Bridgman. And Bridgman is a very good fighter. And down goes Milbury. Trying to get up, and Bridgman is all over him, pounding away. They're kind of just wrestling now, and McCauley has to move in on it. So the game almost totally out of hand now, with Bayshard holding off Holmgren and D'Amico holding off O'Reilly. But Milbury did not fare well with Mel Bridgman. With 1:06 left here in the first period.
Well, to say the least, it's obvious that this thing has gotten out of hand. The referee, John McCauley, has got to assess some kind of major penalties here in order to get this thing back on track.
O'Reilly is out. Holmgren is out. They're both out of the game.
It looks like O'Reilly and Holmgren will be through for the night, but McCauley is now moving to the penalty box or to the bench. And Holmgren is going to be tossed out for the rest of the game, as will Terry O'Reilly. And the battle will probably go on, I would imagine. And The Flyers, looking up at the scoreboard, are ahead 5-0. At 2:36, Bridgman scored. At 12:48, Holmgren scored. 13:55, it was Evans. 15:34, McLeish scored a shorthanded goal unassisted. And Leach chipped in with a power play goal at 17:04. And with 1:06 left to play here in the first period, we've got a delay, as you can see. But here's the start of what was this battle royal, which is not hockey. There's 26 is Milbury. That's O'Reilly. 24. Bridgman is 10. And there it is right there in the corner. And they dropped their gloves and away they went. We have peace restored, at least for the moment. But O'Reilly and Holmgren are through for the night. Whatever penalties are assessed will be assessed at 18 minutes and 54 seconds of the first period. I need a new sheet for the penalties in the first period, Fred.
Well, John McCauley, the best, has had it's out of hand, but I would say no fault to McCauley when the brawls continue. And it was so hard for Bayshard and D'Amico to separate O'Reilly and Holmgren, and that was protracted, and then that causes further battles.
Well, you don't know at the outset what starts things like this, Fred, in a hockey game. Players...
Frustration, for one, with the Bruins.
Yeah, of course, the first fight with O'Reilly and Holmgren was at 5:03. The game was still a game at that point. Was 1-0 Philadelphia. At the start of the game, you don't know. You're not in the dressing room saying, now remember, these guys are tough. They are tough, but hockey is too great a sport not to play hockey. And this gets to the point of being a little ridiculous at some juncture. McCauley has had his hands full. I don't blame him for anything that's gone on tonight. He has had a tough first period to handle with lots of action, a lot of hard hitting in the corners, and a lot of battling along the boards. But we have the announcement now.
5 minutes fighting and a 5-minute match penalty.
5 minutes fighting Holmgren in a 5-minute match.
5 minutes fighting. For Boston, number 24, Terry O'Reilly. 2 minutes roughing, 5 minutes fighting. Number 26, Mike Milbury, 5 minutes fighting. Time of the penalties, 18 minutes, 54 seconds. Repeating, Holmgren, 5 minutes fighting, 5-minute match penalty.
Bridgman's in there, 5 minutes for fighting, and Milbury 5 minutes for fighting. O'Reilly 2 minutes for roughing and 5 for fighting. Now the only man kicked out of the game, according to that, is Holmgren. He got the match, but O'Reilly gets the extra 2 minutes, and you can understand why when you see the replay. He threw the first punch in there, so he gets the roughing that started it, plus a 5-minute penalty. Immediately, we have Bridgman serving his 5 minutes up there, and O'Reilly with 2.
Well, I think Milbury gets 5 minutes also for fighting, so that should cancel off as far as those two are concerned. Holmgren's 5-minute penalty for fighting and O'Reilly's 5 for fighting will cancel off. I'm not sure how that board reads with number 10 up there. Bridgman 5 minutes. I'll have to see what I couldn't quite hear what the Holmgren second penalty was. He gave him a match penalty.
5 for fighting and a 5-minute match, which threw him out of the game. The gesture at the time looked as though he was throwing O'Reilly out too.
Well, if Holmgren draws 3, if any player draws 3 5-minute major penalties in any one game, he's through for the game. But he may have given him 2 5-minute penalties, and that would automatically expel him for the rest of the game. But I think the 10 up there may be what has balanced it off. Holmgren may have gotten 2 5-minute penalties for fighting, which of course would be an automatic game suspension. And that's why Bridgman's would not balance off. So the Bruins could enjoy a man advantage here.
Here it is.
I think probably what happened here is that Holmgren was also fighting with Milbury. And so Holmgren would draw 5 for fighting with Milbury and 5 for O'Reilly. That would give him 3 5-minute penalties for the game, so that would be through for the game on a game penalty. And Bridgman gets a 5-minute major penalty for getting involved with Milbury. Now, when Milbury got involved with Bridgman, he probably didn't draw anything. So this is why it's 2 up there for O'Reilly and 5 for Bridgman. So the Bruins, after the next 2 minutes, will have a 3-minute period of a man advantage, which, of course, he will not be able to come out of the penalty box if the Bruins should score. So maybe they'll get something generated in the second period.
61 minutes in penalties so far in the first period. We are still in the first period. Philadelphia has a 5-0 lead. And right now, both teams shorthanded. As Evans is out with Hoyta, DuPont and Daly for Boston, Miller and Jonathan, Rick Smith and Sims. Both teams short a man. That's the way it'll be, barring further penalties, and a drive by Daly just missed. DuPont keeps it in. And Miller starts it out. Up for Jonathan. Coming up on DuPont. Back for Sims. Shot. And deflected, and a save by Stevenson. A good bid there by Sims. Well set up. Evans comes back. He has a goal. Now Dean hit by Jonathan. And with it, Miller. Rick Smith. Jonathan trying to move it in. Broken up by Daly and cleared away. Back for it, Sims and Dean. Played around to Rick Smith. 20 seconds left in the period. Rick Smith, Miller. Miller has it over the line. Looking for Jonathan. Blocked. Sims with it. Shot wide. Jonathan back for Smith. 9 seconds left. For Sims. Shot. Saves Stevenson as it deflects in on him. And with 4 seconds left to face off in the Philadelphia end. 58 seconds left on that 2-minute O'Reilly penalty. And as we said, he was not thrown out of the game. Holmgren was. For, as Johnny Peirson sorted the whole thing out, 3 5-minute majors and then the match.
Well, I think that's how it is why Holmgren went to the dressing room, and why we thought O'Reilly was going to be thrown out for the game. But it was the fact that he assessed a third 5-minute major penalty to Holmgren here in the first period. That's automatic game suspension.
Shot by Sims, and it struck Miller and went wide as the Bruins got the shot away, but the siren sounds and the period ends. And so at the end of the first period, the score is Philadelphia 5, Boston nothing. Tom Larson will be along with our first intermission in just a moment.
Well, the Bruins and the Flyers are making their way onto the ice for the start of the second period, and Jim Pettie is gone into goal for the Boston Bruins, wearing number 31. He has played in a couple of games for the Bruins over the couple of past seasons, and he played in one so far this season in Minnesota against the North Stars in a 2-2 tie, and he played extremely well as Gilbert was hit on the collarbone with a shot in St. Louis. And so Jim Pettie is now in goal for the Boston Bruins, wearing number 31. He's been the backup goaltender, 6 feet, 195 pounds, 25 years of age. He was a 73 draft pick in the 9th round, played with the Dayton Gems. And in 77, 78, he played in 31 games rather for Rochester, 3.35 goals against average. And he is back in goal as Gilbert had a very busy and tough first period here at the Boston Garden against the Philadelphia Flyers. And there's a sign from Natick. And we welcome all fans, hockey fans from the town of Natick. All set for second period action. Here's Fred Cusick.
Well, right at the start, both teams are shorthanded. In 54 seconds, O'Reilly's penalty will be up. He's in the penalty box with Milbury. He's serving a major. Bridgman is over there for, and Ben Wilson. He had the battle with Wensink. And we're looking for Wensink on the Boston bench. And I failed to see him. And I wonder what that situation is. Wensink is not on the bench. He had the fight with Wilson. We'll try and get a report. But right now, a 5-0 lead. He was cut. And that's why he's not in. He was cut in the battle with Wilson. Puck to Recital over the line, breaking in, and just checked on the play at the last moment. And Philadelphia's Murray with it. Checked by Recital. Recital trying to drop it. Middleton gets it to Sims. The shot misses. At the right side, Doak. Doak fires. Cut by Stevenson. And in 24 seconds, the Bruins will have the man advantage, but they put on a good rush and play at the Philadelphia end here at the start of the second period.
Oh, here's the drive by Doak, a high one. Stevenson starting to go down, reached up with a catching glove. That looked like it was going over the net, but he chose to hold on for the faceoff.
It's a draw won by Recital. He dropped it, but it went between the point men, Sims and Doak. Callender and Evans on for Philadelphia. And Recital starts it back. Middleton. Now to Doak, up to Sims. Sims knocked down by Evans. And Murray with it, clearing it away. And it is not icing as Pettie comes out, fires it around. It's a power play, Boston. Puck all the way around to Middleton. He breaks with Recital. Man advantage, Boston. Middleton holding. Tried to drop it off, couldn't. And out comes Philadelphia Evans. Checked by Foster. With it, Cashman. Away from Barber. Up to Middleton. Ruled offside by D'Amico. 2:35 left on the rest of that 5-minute penalty on Bridgman. 18:41 left in the first period. And Don Cherry sends out McNabb with Jonathan and Cashman on the wings. Foster and Schmatz at the points. It is Clark and Barber, Daly, and DuPont. Pettie's only game last year was in Philadelphia, and he lost it 6-2. This year, of course, his only game, Minnesota. He played one period in St. Louis, but in Minnesota, he played the full game, and he was brilliant in the 2-2 tie. McCauley with a conference over at the penalty timekeeper, and he's indicating that that major is on Holmgren and not Bridgman, and they just want to change the number in the designation up there. Well, they put it on Leach serving the penalty. At any rate, a power play here, Boston, and a major penalty, so Boston will try and keep it going. McNabb can't handle a pass, and the puck driven back in on Pettie. Clark and Barber, a couple of excellent penalty killers, and another one being McLeish, who scored a shorthanded goal. Barber intercepts the pass by Schmatz, and the puck is cleared by Philadelphia. Dwight Foster now trying to get away from Clark. Clark to Barber. He's right in, broken up by Pettie, and Clark now drops it back for control by Philadelphia. And DuPont snaps it away. Clark in again on Foster. He's raised havoc with him, and now it's off to Cashman. Out to Jonathan. Jonathan. Trouble working it in. When he does, Evans is there to clear it away. And the Bruins kind of ragged in this power play bid as Philadelphia checks them very tightly. And down is Evans to check Schmatz. They battle. And Evans gets it in front. A shot wide by McLeish. Out comes Jonathan. He can't get it, and Murray has it now. And over to Evans. Now Cashman. 1:07 left on that penalty, and the Bruins not even getting a shot as McLeish loses now to Schmatz, to McNabb. Puck played in wide of Stevenson. Off for LaPointe. Up to Evans and cleared out. Evans knocked down by Jonathan, but a pass intercepted by LaPointe and played to the Boston end. Jonathan trying to come out, and Clark there stops, but Miller now gets it off. Right side, Schmatz taps it in. Bruins hustle in, but Murray is there first. Murray, Jonathan, Miller has it. Miller in the corner, trying to drop it back. He's broken up. And out comes Clark. Clark over the line. A shot on Pettie, a backhander and a save. The penalty almost up, and it is Philadelphia that's had the scoring chances. Middleton trying to make it move, and he lost control. And the puck is cleared away as the Bruins are all thumbs here in this situation. Trailing 5-0 in the second period. And Philadelphia survived that without Boston not getting a shot. Here's Miller over the line now. Going deep. Miller drops it. Marcotte can't get the shot away. And Philadelphia Leach comes right back. He has a goal. Long shot. Save Pettie on a hard drive by Leach. One-time 61-goal scorer. Back comes Miller. The Middleton broken up on the play, and Callender rushes. Callender moving right in. Broken up by Pettie. Evans around to Callender. Back on the other side to Evans. Evans drops it out to Dean. Shot blocked by O'Brien as Dean had that one right on. And Marcotte clears it out. Rick Smith now pops it into center ice. But taking control is Lapointe. And the Flyers continue their domination. Checking the Bruins very closely, and the Bruins can't get it started. McLeish sweeps it in the corner. The Flyers with a commanding 5-0 lead. Out comes Miller. Driving it in. Stevenson blocking it for Lapointe. Rattel trying to keep it in, but Hoyter worked it right out. With it, Doak now to Rattel. Up for Sims. And the puck back in the Flyer zone. Hoyter there. Around the boards to McLeish, and he quickly plays it out of the zone. Sims to Rattel. Looking for Secord. He races in. Stevenson there, though, around the boards. Hoyter. Now to Bob Kelly. Around, stopped by Doak. Doak. Rattel. Shot. Save. Stevenson. Dropped out for Sims. Shot blocked by Kelly. And Lapointe on it. And he clears it center ice. A race. Doak and McLeish and Kelly into the corner. Kelly centers it. Sims clears it away. Break by Secord. Big break here over the line. Fires. Scores! Secord drives it home, and the Bruins get on the board with Secord's first National Hockey League goal.
A drive that Al Secord let go from just inside the Philadelphia blue line. Snuck between Stevenson's legs. Here's the drive now. Watch the opening right between the legs. That jet there. And he snuck it right through. And Boston is finally on the scoreboard. It comes at 6:11 of the second period. Al Secord, his first National Hockey League goal.
Al Secord. And that makes it 5-1. That was Boston's first shot in the period, I would say. And the Flyers come back as Clark gets it in. Losing to McNabb. McNabb coming out to O'Reilly. O'Reilly plays it in the corner. Jonathan in on Wilson. Hits him hard. McNabb in front. Pass knocked away, and Leach comes out with Barber. Offside. You're watching Boston Bruins hockey from Boston Garden.
Well, a report on John Wensink. He's through for the night, will not be back. 12 stitches over the right eye. Suffered evidently when he was butted with the helmet of Wilson in that battle. Well, that's the report we get. And he will not be back for the remainder of this hockey game.
Puck at center ice, and Barber clears it in the Boston zone. 13 minutes left, and the puck bounces into the stands. Second period action will continue from the Garden in just a moment. Jim Pettie in the Boston goal, set for the faceoff to his left in the Boston zone. 7 minutes played, second period. Philadelphia leads it 5-1. Evans against Rattel. Shot right off the bat, and it just missed the net. Collender had it. Well set up by Evans on the faceoff. Schmatz, Secord, and Rattel, the Boston line. Secord moves in, checking, Rattel in, getting it, trying to make his play. Murray, Secord battle, Lapointe back to get it, and clears it out. Milbury back for Boston. Up for Schmatz. Back for Doak. Milbury. Schmatz. Check. Doak on it. A long pass up, and Milbury starts it away to Rattel. They break over the line. Rattel looking for Milbury. He can't get it in front. Gets it in the corner. Milbury in deep. Plays it around the other side. And Dean there for Philadelphia. Rattel checks him. And he gets it around to Lapointe. Up the middle to Dean. Evans. And now to Murray. 5-1 Philadelphia. Schmatz. Rattel over the line. Breaking in. Rattel to Schmatz. He's in. Holding. Can't get the shot away. Oh, just had the man out. And McLeish clears it down all the way to Pettie. Pettie wheels it around the boards, and McLeish, good skater, in to get it. Keeps it. Is checked now, and Schmatz starts it out. Don't know what happened to Bobby just in front, as he seemed to be in. Daly clears it in now for Philadelphia. 11:18 left, second period. Pettie trying to move it away. Kelly poked it ahead to Bridgman, and a face-off call. Bruins hockey is coming to you live from Boston Garden.
Good play by Bobby Schmatz here. Look at him go through 3 Philadelphia Flyers, break loose, but look at the tough luck. He hit the stick of Stevenson as he tried to fire the forehand drive into what was the open corner. It just managed to hit Stevenson's stick at the last minute.
Daly drives it in. The Bruins trying to work it out. Dennis O'Brien up the middle with Miller. Miller trying to break ahead. Gets the puck, lost it. Spill, penalty. DuPont going out. And Miller helped to draw that one. And DuPont will be going out. The Bruins will have a power play. With the score, Philadelphia 5 and Boston 1. Bruins hockey continues in just a moment.
Well, after 16 penalties in the first period, this is our first here in the second period. A lead pass. Bob Miller tried to pick it up between the Philadelphia Flyers defense. Watch number 6, DuPont, from that moment right there. And Miller goes down, and DuPont goes off for hooking at 9:02 as Miller made a desperate effort to grab the puck and break through the defense on a nice lead pass from Al Sims. Couldn't do it, and the Bruins have a power play.
McNabb, Cashman left, O'Reilly right with Milbury and Schmatz. And Clark gets the draw, and the puck is cleared by Jim Watson. Jim Watson, Ben Wilson on defense. Schmatz starts it away to McNabb. Broken up, covering Schmatz. Fed in. Stevenson blocks it. McNabb had it, couldn't hang on. Wilson drives it around the board. Schmatz against Clark. In for McNabb. McNabb in the corner. Holding. Back for Schmatz. Fires. It's deflected wide. Milbury. Misfire. And Schmatz has a break. Or rather, Clark against Schmatz. Clark very tricky. Over the line. Now elects to control it. With Philadelphia short-handed. And with his magic, he keeps the puck. Gets it up to Barber. Barber swings, shoots. Pettie saves as Clark set up Barber. And Pettie made a big stop. Out comes O'Reilly. In for Milbury. Shot, score! Wayne Cashman. Milbury got it across to Wayne Cashman coming in off the left wing. And a power play goal by the Bruins captain. And the Bruins trail 5-2.
Well, great passing here by O'Reilly into Milbury. He carries it in all the way in, centers it in front. Here comes Cashman. And he just flipped that puck up into the top corner as Stevenson came across, trying to protect as much of the net as he could. But a great stop by Jim Pettie down at the far end on a very good shot by Bill Barber, set up by Clark, and the Bruins came storming back. And Cashman from Milbury and O'Reilly, and it's 5-2 Flyers.
Puck over the line, and O'Brien pokes it in. Miller goes to the corner. Miller checked by Murray, trying to get it free. Middleton is in front if they can get it to him. Now Marcotte worked it free, lost it, battles again, and the Flyers clear it out. Boston coming back, stolen by McLeish. Fed in now, and goes in the corner to Callender. Callender centered it. Middleton broke it up. Bridgman keeps it in. For McLeish, save Pettie! And he tries to clear it. It goes back to Murray. Shot, save Jim Pettie! Penalty coming up here on Boston. Callender was knocked down as Marcotte clears. Interference. And Sims will go out. With the score, Philadelphia 5 and Boston 2. Bruins hockey continues in just a moment.
This is TV-38, WSBK TV, Boston.
Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification. This is the TV-38 Bruins Network.
Well, here's the drive coming up. Pettie with 2 good stops in a row here, but Al Sims gets an interference call. You'll see it coming up, I think, in a moment, right at the right-hand corner of your screen. He knocked the Flyer down, and he's off for interference at 11:04 of the second period.
A couple of power play goals by Philadelphia. They've got a man advantage now. Marcotte and Middleton, O'Brien and Milbury. A golf shot, and Middleton pokes it away. Races. Can't get it. Was held off by Barber. Marcotte takes a heavy hit, and Bridgman starts it back. Clearing in wide of Pettie. He pokes it in the corner. McLeish there. McLeish back to Daly. Daly a shot deflected over the net. McLeish with it. Callender, Bridgman out with him. Daly sneaking up, looking for a pass. And it's back. Goes to Daly. Off for McLeish. Quick shot. Jim Pettie, the save. Saves again. And the face-off call. Jim Pettie gets a hand. 1:20 left on the penalty to Al Sims.
Well, a big stop here. In fact, 2 big stops by Jim Pettie. Here's Rick McLeish, and he can fire it. Watch Pettie stand his ground. Here comes Callender, number 28, with a backhander. Pettie down, and he stayed right there with that one, too. 2 big stops by Jim Pettie, who had replaced Gilbert at the start of the second period. 8:16 left to play in the second period. Philadelphia 5, Boston 2.
Bridgman centering Callender and McLeish with Daly and Barber. Marcotte out there with Middleton. Now Smith and Doak in front of Jim Pettie. The draw. Bridgman got it. Back to Barber. Fires. Deflects. Hit the post to the right of Pettie. And with it, Callender right behind the net. Holding. Has to be challenged. Gets it back to Daly. Over to Barber. Marcotte has lost a stick. The drive goes wide by Daly. McLeish keeps it in. Marcotte in trouble, and the Bruins too as Daly shoots. This one deflected by Middleton, and the Bruins get a whistle and a break there with Marcotte playing without a stick. And 56 seconds left on the Sims penalty. 7:52 left in the second period. The goals by Boston here in the second period. Al Secord from Sims at 6:11. Cashman a power play from Milbury and O'Reilly. 199th career goal by Wayne Cashman. That one. And the Bruins trail by 3. The draw back to young Wilson. Shot off Marcotte. Deflects wide. Pettie ties it up. And the face-off call to the left of Jim Pettie.
Well, big Bob Daly, wearing number 2 for the Flyers, playing the right point. Got a tremendous shot, Fred. It's very heavy, and Pettie had to be very quick on one of those drives to contain it. He can shoot him.
Clark on the face-off with Marcotte. Won by Philadelphia. To Wilson, to Clark. Clark to Barber. Barber, a shot blocked by Middleton, goes wide. Kept in by McLeish. Off for Leach. Tough angle shot. He missed. Almost hit McCauley. McCauley went down, avoiding it. Clark keeps it in. Clark maneuvering. Middleton checks him. Onto the boards. It's pried loose. McLeish. Leach over there. Back to Barber. Barber shoots. Save. Pettie dropped at the right time. Clark keeps it in. Clark in the corner. 13 seconds left. He's looking for Wilson. To Leach. In front. Save. Pettie, a beauty. Moved right across. And the Bruins clear it. A beauty unleashed by Jim Pettie, who came right across on him. And Boston back at full strength. The applause for Pettie. Here's a steal. In goes Schmatz. In. Save! Stevenson, another shot. Trickles wide. Schmatz right in. Could have really put them within range, but that one. And Stevenson made the stop, and Schmatz had another glittering opportunity.
Well, Bobby Schmatz is running in extremely tough luck. He has yet to score a goal in this 1978-79 season. He moves in here with his head up, tries to get Stevenson to commit himself, but he's not going to do it. And then, of course, he lost his leverage. He left the puck out in front. But sometimes with Bobby Schmatz, a good shot like he's got, 15 feet, if you're having a problem. We mentioned it in the game Thursday night against the Islanders. You close your eyes and drill it. Let the goaltender worry about it. But Bobby Schmatz has had a couple of glittering scoring opportunities. On the first one, he made a very fine play, but Stevenson managed to get his stick on it with a second effort. And in this one, he just wouldn't be committed, and Schmatz came right up to him and tried to flip it over top.
Boston trails 5-2. Milbury trying to rush. He's broken up. Back goes O'Brien in the forecheck Evans, and icing called on the play. Atlanta at Montreal. Atlanta undefeated, but now they trail Montreal. Ouls and Lafleur scoring for Montreal. Lysiak for Atlanta. Montreal 2, Atlanta 1 at the end of 1. And Labatten has scored for Detroit. They lead Pittsburgh 1-0 first period. And the Islanders lead Washington 1-0 on a goal by Bob Bourne first period. Here it's 5-2 Philadelphia. 5 goals by the Flyers in the first period.
And the Atlanta Flames are looking to tie a record held by the Montreal Canadiens in Montreal tonight. 14 games without a defeat at the start of the season. Atlanta has gone 13.
The Bruins had the face-off, but the shot stopped by Lapointe, and he clears it out. Milbury quickly to Jonathan. Right back. Off for Recital. He can't get it. Milbury follows up, keeps it in. In front, Jonathan. Saved by Stevenson. Puck loose. Recital, a backhander. It goes wide. Recital in the corner. Checked by Kelly. And they still battle. And the Flyers knock it out to center ice. Milbury there. Bruins getting chances here in the second period. Battling back with solid goaltending by Jim Pettie. Jonathan in the check on the play against Murray. Recital battling. Recital trying to center it. But Philadelphia takes it. And Evans works it out. Evans to Kelly. Into the Boston end. Kelly, Milbury. And Kelly wraps him up. And the battle for it in the corner. Hoyter on Recital. And the Bruins trying to work it out. Can't. Kelly keeps it in. A pass up and a score! A quick backhander. And Philadelphia goes in front as Mel Bridgman gets the goal.
A little centering pass here by Bob Kelly. Right onto the stick of Bridgman, and he just turned it into the far corner off that far goal post. And the Flyers out in front 6-2 as Boston came storming into the Flyers' end. Jonathan had a great chance, but hit the side of the net on a drive that was going to the top corner. And finally, the Flyers score with a drive by Bridgman on a pass from Kelly. It comes at 14:41 of the second period.
Bridgman second of the night. Bridgman, Holmgren, Evans, McLeish, and Leach scored in the first period. So a big goal there by Mel Bridgman as Flyers clear it out now. Doak getting it back to center ice, stopped by Daly. And DuPont moves it up to the Boston line. Jammed up, cleared away. McNabb with it. McNabb, Cashman. Cashman plays it in the corner. But back part is Callender. Checked by McNabb. DuPont trying to move it out. A battle on the boards. McNabb to O'Reilly. O'Reilly checked by DuPont. And McLeish. And it bounced around, and McLeish has it. He starts away. And an offside call. We're in the second period with the score. Philadelphia 6 and Boston 2. .428 left. Face off outside the Boston line. Bob Miller is centering Dwight Foster and Al Secord against Leach, Clark, and Barber for Philadelphia. 6-2 the Flyers lead. Pettie comes out of the net to clear it up the boards for Secord. Secord starts it back. He scored his first NHL goal. He's checked by Clark and got a little lesson there from Clark. A super checker, always has been, now in his 10th year in the NHL. Puck cleared down. No icing, they say. O'Brien has to play it. Almost lost it. Up the boards, Foster, Miller, center ice. Miller breaks over the line. Miller going wide. A quick shot saves Stevenson. A battle behind the net. And Barber, Secord. And the face-off call. From the Boston Garden, you're watching Boston Bruins hockey. Play on. Doak clears it in. Marcotte after it, centers it, but it's skated off by DuPont. And DuPont fires it out, and a heavy hit, Jonathan, on DuPont. Oh, he flattened him in the corner. Middleton turns the net, starts it back. Flash of center ice. Rick Middleton over the line, trying to go right through. He's knocked down by the two defensemen. Marcotte throws a hit on Hoyda, but Evans starts it back for Philadelphia. He scored his first NHL goal. Evans works it in with a shot wide of Pettie. Jonathan takes a hit from Evans. Rick Smith moves it up. Middleton, Marcotte trying to break. But they lose it to Hoyda. And now Middleton hit by Hoyda. Jonathan knocked down by DuPont as DuPont got back in retaliation for the check. With the puck, Smith to Middleton. He breaks with Jonathan, and Marcotte 3-on-2. In for Marcotte. Scores! Dan Marcotte cut the corner. And wait a minute. No goal, says. Let's see what McCauley's calling here. Is it a goal or not? The light went on.
He's called a no goal. I think the puck hit the goalpost on the far side. Looked like it was going across. Somehow Stevenson may have grabbed it or deflected it wide of going over the goal line. He waved it off very quickly down here in the left corner. Here's the play, a beautiful play by Marcotte. Now watch the puck as he turns to the backhand, scoops it, hit the goalpost. In behind Stevenson, somehow he got a piece of it or it hit the goalpost. Marcotte thought it was in, but the referee, John McCauley, is ruling it no goal.
Well, the light went on, and I went with the light. I couldn't see the puck, but I assumed it was behind Stevenson and over the line.
Well, right here, Marcotte puts his stick up in the air. I thought it was in behind Stevenson. Marcotte thought it was in, but it didn't go across the line, evidently. McCauley waved it off, and he was in good position to call the play. He was over at the side of the net, on the side where the puck came across the goal line, but Marcotte put his stick up in the air. I was sure it was in, but McCauley very quickly waved it off.
You're watching Boston Bruins hockey from Boston Garden. Play on now with 2:30 left here in the period, and McLeish over the line. Just checked on a sweep check by Sims. Cashman starts it back to O'Reilly. Lost it at the Philadelphia line. And the puck to Callender. Callender over the line. Broken up. Kept in by McLeish. Shot missed. Cashman starts it back. 6-2 the Flyers. Up to McNabb. McNabb trying to work it in. Broken up by McLeish. Back comes Sims for McNabb. McLeish broke it up. McNabb battling him. It goes to Bridgman, and Bridgman out to Callender. Callender, one man back. Shot save, Pettie. Back comes Milbury, to be broken up by McLeish. McLeish tripped by Milbury. Hurt down on the ice. McLeish hurt on the play. He was cut. And another swarm of players now. And Bridgman starting to move in, and the Bruins started a line change. The Flyers sent out some extra players, and McLeish went down, appears to be cut. Milbury was checking him, and he's cut on the eye, near the left eye apparently.
May have gotten a stick as he tried to check. Here's Milbury, number 26. Oh, there's the stick. Hit him right in the face as Milbury was making an effort to get close to McLeish to move in to check him, and his stick came up and hit him in the face. He is being helped off the ice. The Flyers, realizing that he may have been seriously hurt, rushed off the bench with the trainer. The Bruins came off, and of course McCauley not wanting to have anything break out.
5-minute major to Milbury for injuring McLeish, and the Bruins will be shorthanded for 5 minutes.
Well, a high sticking penalty causing injury to the head or face of an opposing player carries an automatic 5-minute major penalty, so that if McCauley was calling a minor infraction, he would be forced into making it a 5-minute major penalty. It's automatic. It's in the book. The Bruins are arguing the point. It seemed to me from the replay, although I did not see it clearly at the outset, that it was accidental. But McCauley did have his hand up. I believe he was going to call, possibly was going to call, a 2-minute high sticking infraction against Milbury. We don't know for sure, but he's given him a 5-minute major, and if he was going to call a 2-minute minor, it would be automatically 5. Well, here's in replay. Now watch the play coming up. This is McLeish moving for the puck. He's trying to find it. Here's Milbury coming with the play to move in to check him, and his stick caught him in the face, or I would assume it's the face, somewhere in that area. He went down and off to the dressing room as Marcotte talks to McCauley.
And the Bruins, of course, realize the impact of a 5-minute major here. 6-2 lead for Philadelphia. 1:39 left in the second period. And, of course, with a major, he can't come back until he serves the full 5 minutes. Detroit and Pittsburgh are tied 2-2 second period. The Islanders lead Washington 2-0 second period. And Montreal in front of Atlanta 2-1 in the second period. Here the Bruins battle back with Jim Pettie taking over in the goal for Gilbert after Philadelphia scored 5 goals in the first period. Bruins coming back with 2, but then Bridgman from Kelly at 14:41, and it is a 6-2 lead for the Flyers. Coming up between periods, Tom Larson will have the sports update and a feature on Bob McCammon, the new coach of the Philadelphia Flyers from the Maine Mariners. Then Johnny Peirson and I will be back with an analysis of the second period of tonight's game. It's all during our second intermission, so stay tuned as the Bruins still argue with John McCauley. Don Cherry calling a conference, but Milbury has a 5-minute major, and McLeish has gone to the dressing room. Already Wensink in a fight with Wilson. 12-stitch cut over the eye, over the right eye, and that happened in the first period, evidently butted by Wilson's helmet in that fight. Wensink out for the rest. A disconsolate Mike Milbury sits in the box. We're waiting for the faceoff to the right of Jim Pettie, who has been a bright note in this second period, beaten only by the Bridgman goal and never had a chance on that one, and he's kicked out some beauties. The Flyers now with the power play. Clark, Barber, Leach, Daly, and Wilson. Boston, Rattel, Schmatz, Sims, and O'Brien. Back to Wilson. Shots, save by Jim Pettie, and the clear by Schmatz. Wilson, a 19-year-old out of junior hockey, one of the first picks by Philadelphia. Leach flips it in. Pettie hangs on, clears it, but Clark is there. Check. And O'Brien can't move it out. Clark back for Daly. Shot and a save by Pettie, and he hangs on a faceoff to the left of the goaltender as Bob Daly, 6'5", about 210 pounds, can sting him from the blue line, and he had plenty of authority on that one.
And there's all kinds of shots in the National Hockey League. Some players have that heavy, good, solid shot. As we look at that youngster, he's only 19 years of age. He will be 20 in December. 6'3", 215 pounds. He played last year in Kingston. 18 goals, 58 assists, 76 points. Good, strong defenseman.
Draw to Daly. Daly clears it around. 1:05 left. Only break the Bruins get is the period will end in a minute. But the Flyers keep it in. Back to Leach. He drills. What a stop by Jim Pettie on Reg Leach. As fine a bit of reaction in the goal as you want to see. Great glove reaction.
And I think that shot hit something on the way in. Pettie was going for it in the center of the net. Then all of a sudden, here's Reggie Leach. Now watch the double reaction by Pettie. At this moment, look at him. He's stopping it. Now all of a sudden he realizes, hey, it's going the other way. And he reaches out with that glove. And what a big stop. He was off balance, so it made it even tougher. But a great second reaction, what looked like a second reaction by Jim Pettie on that drive by Reg Leach.
55 seconds left in the period. Got a lot of time on the penalty to Milbury. And Dean works it in. Still has it. Wheeling around. Back for Wilson. Wilson intercepted by O'Brien. O'Brien moves it out of the zone. It's knocked back in. O'Brien trying to clear it. Can't. Daly keeps it in. Pass stop. Bounces. Callender. Shot. Blocked. And goes to center ice. Marcotte and Miller out there now. Miller checking Wilson. Puck goes to Dean. Now O'Brien. Back for Sims. 15 seconds left. Up it goes to Miller. Miller to Marcotte. Trying to move in. And Dean knocks Marcotte down. And back comes Bridgman. Clearing it in. Sims drives it up. No. And that's it as Daly got a backhander away. 3:21 left on that major penalty to Mike Milbury as Pettie holds the fort. After 2 periods of play, the score, Philadelphia 6 and Boston 2. Stay tuned for our second intermission after these messages.
All set for the third period action. Here's Fred.
Power play still a major penalty to Milbury, so he cannot come out even if the Flyers get a goal. Barber clears it in. Pettie drops it for Sims around the boards, and Miller just able to tap it out. Schmatz also on, but Leach starts it back now. Leach dropped it. Schmatz intercepted. Can't clear. Miller battling. Now it rolls to Leach again. Into Clark. Clark back to Wilson. And he tried to feed it up to Bobby Clark for a deflection, but that didn't work at all. 2:35 left on that major penalty. The Flyers lead it 6-2. They scored 5 goals first period. Gilbert in goal. But now Barber back with Clark. Into the corner to Clark, looking for Leach. And he couldn't handle it in front. Miller unable to clear it out. Daly fires it back in as Pettie knocks down Leach. They had a battle in front. Behind the net, Schmatz digs it free, but Barber over to get it to Clark. Broken up by Schmatz to Miller. One man back. Wilson getting back on Miller. Miller breaking in deep. Forced and taken out of the play by Daly. Never got the shot off. Marcotte on now. 1:56 left on the major. And Ben Wilson carries center ice to Bridgman. Kept in by the Flyers in the corner. Callender. Shot and a save. Pettie, and he hangs on. Jim Pettie. Well, if you saw the Minnesota game, you saw him moving all over the ice, and he's doing the same job here against the Flyers as they poured 14 shots at him in the second period.
And he's a very aggressive goaltender. Here's Callender from a bad angle. But Pettie stayed right with it, almost snuck between the pads. 1:39 left on the penalty to Mike Milbury.
Marcotte gets the draw, clears. Lapointe with it. Over to Terry Murray. Lapointe fires in. Rebound. Rick Smith can't get it. Now gets the puck. Trying to come out to Marcotte. He drives it out. Middleton hustling for it, but Murray beats him to it. Drives it up to the Boston zone. That could be icing. Could be. And icing called on the play. From Boston Garden, the score is Philadelphia 6 and Boston 2. Bob Kelly, very aggressive forward for the Flyers.
His 600th NHL game tonight in the Flyers uniform.
Face off in the Flyers zone, and they have the puck in Bridgman with 2 goals tonight. Clears it in. Wide of Jim Pettie. Pettie trying to move it in the corner, lost it. Now tries the other side. And Middleton couldn't break out with it. Kept in by Dean. Dean falls down. Marcotte ahead for McLeish. Couldn't collect. Lapointe intercepts. Marcotte checks him. 50 seconds left on that major penalty to Mike Milbury. Murray to Dean. Broken up by Middleton. And a quick clear. Flyers in front 6-2. Middleton forechecking on the play. Now Barber starts it back for Philadelphia. For Lapointe, swept in wide of Pettie. Marcotte just belts it out. 20 seconds left. Clark. Barber. Puck played in the corner. Clark moving in on Sims. Puck fed out center ice, and Daly knocked it down, reached up over his head, so the faceoff is called in the Flyers zone, and there are 4 seconds left on that penalty. So the Bruins did an effective job.
And the initial report on Rick McLeish, he's been taken to the Mass Eye and Ear Infirmary. Cut on the right eyelid. But that's the initial report that we get from Nate Greenberg.
Tom Larson will complete the scoreboard after the game, but Minnesota in front of Buffalo 2-0 in their game at Minnesota. McNabb out there with O'Reilly, and Milbury back in 4 seconds. Draw to Daly, and Milbury is out. 5-minute major, and the Bruins held off the Flyers. Sims right back over the line. Can't set up a play. Clark clears it out. O'Brien to Sims. O'Brien now to Sims again. He rushes up to McNabb. Over the line with O'Reilly. Drops it for O'Reilly. Over to Sims. Shot. Tough angle. Wide. O'Brien keeps it in right point. Feeding in deep. Secord can't get it. Now he does. Pries it loose. Looks for Sims. It's blocked. O'Reilly kicks it free. Behind the net to Secord. Secord can't get it in front. Tries again. O'Reilly in to help him. Centers it. But it goes on the stick of Leach. Out to Barber. And Barber a long shot. Kicked wide of the net by Jim Pettie. McNabb back. Secord. Al Secord scored his first NHL goal tonight. But the story was the 5 goals in the first period. And a face-off call with the score. Philadelphia 6, Boston 2. Let's pause for this message. Wayne Stevenson in the goal for Philadelphia. Dwight Foster is centering Jonathan and Cashman. Puck down to Jim Pettie. Back for Smith. Out to Doak. Long one to Foster. Foster over the line. Trying to cut in. Knocked down. Jonathan. Rick Smith. They keep it in. Jim Watson now. Around the boards. Doak trying to keep it in. Does against Hoyta. It goes to Jonathan. Jonathan can't get the shot away. Rick Smith does. Wide. Foster a quick shot. Blocked. In the corner. It's Foster with it. All the way back to Doak. Doak. Shot. Save Stevenson. That was on the mark. Centering pass. Bounces out Rick Smith. But Foster. Shot. Save Stevenson. And it is tied up now. No goal. John McCauley waving it off. I don't know if the puck went in, but the crowd yelled as though it did. But McCauley had blown the whistle.
Well, a lot of action around the Flyers net. Boston having a problem. They've had some great scoring opportunities, including this one. But they've only managed to put 2 behind Stevenson as they trail 6-2.
14:44 left in the third period. Flyers with 5 goals in the first period. Bridgman, Holmgren, Evans, McLeish, and Leach. Then Secord and Cashman in the second period, and then Bridgman, and that's the way it stands, 6-2. Rattel with Schmatz and Secord. Lapointe checks Rattel. Bridgman moves it around the boards. Callender clears it out. Back for Schmatz. O'Brien now to Sims. Pass to Schmatz is offside. And a face-off call just inside the Boston blue line. As Atlanta has tied Montreal in the third period 2-2. They have been the amazing story in the National Hockey League this year. Undefeated so far. And if they can pull a tie or a win in Montreal tonight, a big accomplishment. Islanders lead Washington 2-1. Minnesota 2 and Buffalo nothing. Here it's 6-2 the Flyers. The puck driven in wide of Jim Pettie, who replaced Gilbert after the first period when the Flyers scored 5 goals. And Pettie has allowed just 1 goal. Sims back. Secord over the line and in. Shot, missed the net. Schmatz trying to center it, can't. Around the board, Secord just had a great chance to Rattel. Quick shot blocked. Another one. Missed the net. Secord on the rebound. Check. O'Brien keeps it in. Secord into the corner against Lapointe. Lapointe ties it up for a faceoff. And Secord and Rattel had a great chance.
A good play by the youngster, Al Secord. He took that pass from Sims, tried to get through the Philadelphia defense. Had a problem at the outset. He got in awful close, but he had the presence of mind to go upstairs, the top corner, which was the place to be. But unfortunately, he just slid it by the short side goalpost.
Miller on the faceoff, but the control to Dupont of Philadelphia. Miller, Marcotte, and Middleton the line. Miller keeps it in. Checked by Clark before he can make a play. Bruins still battle for it on the boards. Leach trying to clear it out. And a penalty on Bobby Clark. Clark gets a penalty. And a power play for Boston. From Boston Garden, you're watching Bruins hockey.
Well, Bobby Clark did not like this call, but it was hooking. You be the judge. This is Bob Miller moving for the puck. Watch Clark's stick right there. And he just turned Miller around.
Puck kept in. Cashman back for Milbury. Back in for O'Reilly in the corner. To Schmatz. Shot in. Save. Rebound. Score. Cashman. Wayne Cashman put in the rebound of a Bobby Schmatz shot. A quick power play goal, and the Bruins trail 6-3.
Now, Bobby Schmatz, who has a tremendous shot from the point. Watch the play coming up here. Bobby actually doesn't fire this puck too hard, but that's sometimes the way to get it in there. Stevenson lost control of it. He couldn't find it. Cashman picked it up on the backhander and tossed it into the open net for Cashman, his 2nd goal of the night, his 2nd of the season, and his 200th career goal for the Boston Bruins. Cashman from O'Reilly and Bobby Schmatz, and it comes at 6:47.
So the Flyers back at full strength, and the Bruins trail 6-3 with 13:07 left. Back for it now, Jimmy Watson. Fired it down, will be icing. Face off in the Flyers zone. Oh, O'Reilly has it. Rick Smith, quick shot, hit the side of the net or the post to the right of Stevenson. Centering pass, Jimmy Watson around the boards. Bruins battle against Dean. Dean flipped it out. Rick Smith with it. Fed right back in. Bruins hustle in. And Dean knocked down O'Reilly. Oh, he let that go. Interference. Here's O'Reilly banging away at Dean. And McCauley, who calls them all and calls them well, really let that one go. O'Reilly was just hauled down in front. Dean and O'Reilly ready to battle again. And with it, Dean hit by Jonathan and flung to the ice. What a hit Jonathan gave Dean. Out comes McNabb to O'Reilly. Over the line, in for McNabb. In tight, save by Stevenson. Can't tie it up. And O'Reilly called for tripping. Jimmy Watson, and O'Reilly will be going out. We're in the third period with the score, Philadelphia 6 and Boston 3.
Well, Terry O'Reilly got pushed into the... Oh, here's O'Reilly coming down right wing, tries to hit a nice little pass to McNabb. Watch the shot here. Stevenson just managed to get that one with that right pad. He couldn't contain the puck. The action went on, and O'Reilly gets the penalty right there. Unfortunately, one of those sort of unintentional things, but it was tripping. But O'Reilly was taken into the Flyers' net by Dean, a clear-cut case of interference. McCauley did not call it, or maybe he didn't see it, but he certainly saw this, much to the disappointment of the fans.
Let's pause now 5 seconds for station identification. This is the TV-38 Bruins Network.
This is TV-38, WSBK TV, Boston.
Fred Cusick, Boston Garden with Johnny Peirson, Tom Larson with the highlights and features. And there's the clock and the penalty. Bob McCammon, the new coach of Philadelphia. His team in the lead 6-3. And you still have to go for John McCauley. The guy's not going to call all the penalties, but if he saw that at all, he would have called Dean for taking O'Reilly right into the net. And now the fans are on John McCauley, but still vote for John McCauley as #1 in the NHL. And no official is going to see everything by any manner of means.
Well, last year, game in and game out, he was the best official the National Hockey League had. Always seems to be able to keep his cool under pressure. There he is, John McCauley. And he was standing right beside O'Reilly when he tripped a Flyer defenseman. We see Don Cherry. 11:52 left to play in the third period. The penalty to O'Reilly for tripping is called at 8:08.
Waiting for the puck to be faced as something thrown on the ice, and hence the delay. And we had a wild first period with a lot of penalties called by McCauley, trying to keep control. Atlanta and Montreal 2-2 third period. Islanders 2, Capitals 1. A third period score. Minnesota 2 and Buffalo 0 at the end of one period of play. And Chicago leading St. Louis now 2-1 in the second period, as Pittsburgh leads Detroit 6-3 in the third period. For Minnesota, Zanussi and Anderson have scored the goals. At the end of one, they lead Buffalo. But right now, a power play for Philadelphia. Marcotte, Middleton, O'Brien, and Sims for Boston. Clark there with Leach and Barber, the front line. Wilson and Daly. And the pass too far ahead of Bobby Clark. Now he collects it. He's over the line. Maneuvering. Still holding. Keeps possession. Looks for the defenseman coming up, and he missed it. Puck along the line, kept in by Wilson. He's checked. And a pass now goes to Barber. Barber to Leach, scores! As Leach tipped it home, Barber sent it up. And a power play goal for Philadelphia makes it 7-3 for the Flyers. Reg Leach on the score.
Well, Reg Leach, who was extremely good around the front of that net, just redirects this pass by Bill Barber. Here he comes. Watch him just toss it right between the legs of Pettie and into that far corner. Reggie Leach, who scored 61 goals 2 years ago for the Philadelphia Flyers and had 19 goals in the playoffs. 1975-76 scored 61. He gets his second of the night, his fourth of the season, and it comes at 8:42 on the power play of the third period.
At center ice, Schmatz drives it in the Flyer zone. A 4-goal lead for Philadelphia again. They scored 5 in the first period. Sims keeps it in. A quick shot. Stevenson makes the stop. Daly in the corner. Bumped by Secord. Secord with it. Tried to center it. It deflects now to DuPont. Up the boards to Kelly. And bounces down to the Boston zone. O'Brien checked. Hoyta keeps it in. Now to Kelly. Checked by Rattel. With it, Evans. O'Brien battling him. And finally, the whistle by McCauley. Detroit at Pittsburgh. For Pittsburgh, goals have been scored by Carlisle, Lonsbury, Shutt, Talon, Lee, and Greg Shepard. For Detroit, goals by LeBlanc, Libet, and we don't have the other one. Evans on the faceoff against Miller. Pettie, Miller. They're having trouble against the Philadelphia forechecking. Around the boards, Foster trying to move it out. Cleared it away to center ice. Fed back in by Hoyta. Icing called on the play. Chicago at St. Louis. Goals by Boldereff and Marks after Pettie had scored for St. Louis at the end of one. Chicago leads it 2-1. For Atlanta, Houston got a goal at 17:06 in the second period to tie it 2-2. They're now in the third period at Montreal.
And the last Philadelphia goal, the 7th of the night, the second for Reg Leach, his 4th of the year. 8:42 on the power play. Barber and Clark assisting. And the Flyers have scored 3 power play goals tonight, plus 1 shorthanded.
Miller battling for it. Now Doak. A battle in the corner. And a faceoff called again to the left of Stevenson. It was 5-0 Flyers at the end of the first period. And Pettie replaced Gilbert in goal. Bruins battled back a bit. Trail of 1.5-2. Then the Flyers made it 6-2. Then it went 6-3 and now 7-3. Here's Foster trying to move right in. The shot went wide. Miller wheels on the boards. Checked on the play by Lapointe. And the puck goes to Dean. Broken up by Foster. Foster against Murray on the boards. Kicks it free. Milbury. Shot wide. And Lapointe with it for the Flyers. And this will be icing. Another face-off in the Philadelphia zone with the Flyers out in front, 7-3. With a lot of fights, Holmgren was given a match penalty, thrown out of the game. We had a later word that it was for kicking, so we'll have to go along with that report on Holmgren. Wensink, 12-stitch cut, retired after a fight with Ben Wilson in the first period.
I think the thing that maybe threw us the curve, Fred, was on the board. Scoreboard, they had number 10 Bridgman serving 5 minutes when it really should have been Holmgren's number up there. And so that would have changed things around a little bit.
9:24 left. McNabb, O'Reilly, Secord with O'Brien and Sims. And something thrown on the ice that's delaying things. McNabb on the faceoff for O'Brien. Fed in to McNabb. McNabb can't center it. Secord, O'Reilly battle. Another whistle. Another faceoff. Again in the Philadelphia zone. Something thrown on the ice as Clark gets set for the faceoff against McNabb. The draw, O'Reilly just kept it in. Watson, checked by McNabb. Clark back to get it. And a flip out, center ice. Sims moves it back. On it, O'Reilly. McNabb over the line, broken up. O'Brien now to Sims. McNabb starts back. Drills it in. Stevenson blocking it. Watson with it. Just fired it out, and Pettie has to play it way out of the net. Gets it around to Sims. Around the board, center ice. Clark hit by Sims as Secord clears it in, but Wilson for the Flyers. Out to Barber. Barber right back with a long shot in on Pettie. And Doak starts it back. Marcotte for Middleton, and the play is called for the offside. Bruins hockey is coming to you live from Boston Garden. Play on. Milbury in close. Broken up, and the puck out center ice. Marcotte hard into Kelly. Evans trying to move in. Takes a hit. Kelly gets the puck. Kicks it ahead. Is broken up. Hoyter keeping it in. Hoyter a shot. It hit Doak. Blocked. And the Bruins work it out. Marcotte now for Middleton. Broken up by Dupont and cleared away. And Pettie has to play it. Milbury. Marcotte. Out now. It is Milbury on the puck. Now Dupont takes it with 7:17 left. Dennis O'Brien winding up for the Bruins. To Marcotte. For Middleton. Trying to go right through, and he's hammered down by Lapointe. Back up on the ice, Cashman to Middleton. Middleton in the corner, check. Now Jonathan works it in front, jams, save. Stevenson, Bridgman moves it around the board. Sims battling, keeps it in near the flying net. Lapointe with it. And it's down to the Boston end. Again, no icing. And Pettie to O'Brien. Up to Jonathan, out with Foster. Foster coming up over the line. Holding. Clearing in. Jonathan there, looking for Foster. He can't shoot. Jonathan again. Back for Doak. Lost it at the line and has to go center ice. Cleared it back. It struck on the Philadelphia bench, and a faceoff called with 6:12 left in the game. 7-3, the Flyers lead.
And the goal scorers for the Boston Bruins, 2 by Wayne Cashman, 1 by Secord, his first National Hockey League goal. Cashman scored his 200th. Bridgman scored twice, as has Reg Leach, Holmgren, Evans, and McLeish have scored also for the Flyers.
Clark works it over the line, clears it in deep, and Smith for Boston. Barber forechecking. Now Doak. Foster. Foster over the line. Checked by Watson. Behind the net. Wilson there. Wilson gets it off to Clark, and Clark carries out. Fires in. Leach pokes it in deep. Back for Doak. Doak ahead for Schmatz. Over the line to Jonathan. In too deep. Centered it. Schmatz with it. Couldn't get the shot away. Rick Smith fires in front, but Clark is there to flip it out. 5:20 left. 7-3, the Flyers. O'Brien clearing in. Dupont clearing out as O'Reilly bangs into him. Secord now with the puck. Lost it to Evans. Kelly. And a face-off call to the left of Jim Pettie. Well, the big story this year, the Atlanta Flames, and they continue it as they're in the Forum tonight. Montreal had a 2-1 lead, but Ken Houston scored. And John McCauley, chin to chin with Terry O'Reilly, explaining something. Miller on the faceoff with Paul Evans, who scored his first NHL goal tonight. Al Secord for the Bruins scored his first NHL goal. And 2 by Wayne Cashman. And the second one, his 200th career NHL goal. Both of them coming on power plays. O'Reilly in the corner. Sims bangs into Kelly. They both go down. Or Milbury it was into Kelly, and the faceoff called again to the left of Jim Pettie. Tomorrow night the Bruins meet the Montreal Canadiens, who seem to have regrouped, but there they are in the Forum. And Atlanta in a standoff with him right now after 2 periods. It is 2-2. Tom Larson will update the scoreboard, bringing you highlights and features. The draw, Daly the shot, and it's wide. Ricochets all the way center ice, a race, but Stevenson out of the net as O'Reilly moves down. Stevenson pokes it around. O'Reilly jams in, pries it loose, pokes it back, and it goes outside the line as O'Reilly took a hit from Kelly. Miller winding up for Boston. Over to O'Brien now. Up to Milbury. They head to Jonathan. Stopped by Evans. Evans hit by Milbury. Miller winding up, starts it back. Miller, good skating up on DuPont, cuts in the middle, still goes with it, shoots, saves Stevenson, as Miller had a great chance there. And back comes Evans. Lead pass, Collender, save Pettie, beauty, and Milbury starts it back to Miller. With Jonathan, into Jonathan. Jonathan going behind the net, drops it in front, blocked by Stevenson. Murray trying to move it out. Smith keeps it in. Pass blocked. Miller centers it, and the Flyers intercept. Mel Bridgman moves it out to Collender again. Into the corner, centers it. Miller starts it back. 3:23 left. Bob Miller coming up on Murray. Drives one in wide as the Bruins change up. Bridgman right back. Moving it into the Boston zone. Rick Smith with Dean checking him. Now Bridgman in to get it. Trying to center it. Goes to Sims around the board. LaPointe keeps it in. Behind the net, fought for. Dean got it free. Bridgman with it. Works it in front. A save by Pettie. In front again, knocked away. And Cashman. Out for Foster. Pass up, stopped by Murray. And back comes Leach with a clear in wide. 7-3 the Flyers. Marcotte. Sims. The puck played in wide of Stevenson. Cashman can't get it. Watson trying to move it out. Battle behind the net. Marcotte on the boards. McNabb, a shot, saves Stevenson, and he covers up. Third period action will continue from Boston Garden in just a moment. Wayne Stevenson set for the faceoff to his right. 2:09 left. The draw to Philadelphia. Middleton keeps it in behind the net. Battling Wilson. Kicks it to McNabb. McNabb with Clark on him. Now Middleton with it. Wheels in front. Shot. Save. Rebound. Save. 2-3 saves by Stevenson. McNabb had a great chance with 2 pokes at it as Middleton walked right out in front.
Well, Peter McNabb had this right on his stick. He wanted to get it up in the top corner. Here's Middleton with a good play that started it. But watch McNabb right here. He had to go up, and he knew it. He just couldn't get enough leverage on it. He knew Stevenson was going to come down somewhere in that area, and he would be flying down. And so Peter knew he had to get it up, but the leverage just wasn't there. He could have gotten that up in the top corner. He would have beaten him.
1:52 left. McNabb against Clark on the faceoff. 7-3 the Flyers. The draw, Clark wins it to Watson. Clark the flip out, center ice. Milbury there, right back. Plays it in, but lost it to Wilson. Wilson iced it. .129 left. Flyers with a 5-0 lead at the end of the first period. And Bobby Clark with a cut right side of his eye. McLeish a cut. The stick of Mike Milbury in the second period and taken to eye and ear for an examination near his right eye.
And John Wensick, a 12-stitch cut on the right eye. He suffered in a battle with Ben Wilson, the rookie defenseman for the Philadelphia Flyers. The report we got was that Wilson's helmet opened up that cut on the right eye, above the right eye of Wensick, and he was injured in the first period at 18:28 and has not been back.
Bertel on the faceoff with Bobby Clark. 1:29 left. Flyers clear it out. O'Brien, Smith, Bertel, Secord, Schmatz. Over to O'Brien, the shot deflected wide. The rebound. Secord in the corner, trying to drop it out, but interception. And out comes Callender and Dean. Dean's pass broken up, and DuPont with it at center ice. Daly back to Bridgman, and Dean was offside on the play. Be sure to join Tom Larson for the highlights show at the end of tonight's game. He'll recap all the action of this one and bring you up to date on the other scores. Tonight's action in the National Hockey League, and lots of games there are. Flyers with a 5-0 lead first period. Too much to overcome for Boston. Miller with Jonathan and O'Reilly. And Philadelphia has Evans with Hoyda and Kelly. O'Brien. Now Rick Smith. And the puck cleared in. DuPont trying to drive it out. O'Brien keeps it in. Drives one wide as he had a good scoring chance there. Left point, Rick Smith, a shot. Tipped. Deflected wide. 35 seconds left. And the puck is jammed up. Faceoff is to the left of Wayne Stevenson. .28 seconds left in the game. Miller is on the faceoff with Evans. And McCauley says, let's drop the puck and get it over with. It's been a long and painful evening for the Boston Bruins, as icing is called. 20 seconds left in the game. Almost 3 hours, a long first period.
I was going to say, it seems a long time ago that we played the first period in which the Flyers scored 5 goals. Bridgman, Holmgren, Evans, McLeish, and Leach in that order. 2 of them, Leach and Holmgren, were power play goals, while McLeish's was a shorthanded goal.
Draw to O'Brien, the shot, save by Stevenson. 14 seconds left. Puck cleared out by Philadelphia. Back for it, Rick Smith. Jonathan. Broken up by Evans. Evans checked, and that's it. The game is over. A long evening, and the Flyers with the fast start and 5 goals in the first period move on for a 7-3 victory over Boston. The final score, Philadelphia 7, Boston 3. Bruins hockey continues in just a moment.